MTN News. This is Positively Montana, sponsored by Whitefish Credit Union.
Hello, I'm Jill Valley, and thank you for joining us for this week's edition of Positively Montana. It's where we showcase incredible Montanans making a difference in their communities and the unique voices of Big Sky Country. Over the course of the next half hour, we take you to Northwest Montana for a teacher-driven initiative that provides books and food to kids in remote areas of the Flathead. In Missoula, it's a paddleboard race down the Clark Fork River to benefit local nonprofits. But first, we start in Helena, where a Montana Highway Patrol trooper receives the highest honor of valor for her life-saving efforts when she responded to a helicopter crash.
The Montana Highway Patrol gives their Medal of Valor to troopers who embody heroism and bravery. Trooper Via was recognized with such an honor on Monday for her part in the rescue of a crew of a downed DNRC helicopter.
Our troopers put themselves in harm's way each day to serve others. But Trooper Amanda Via's act of valor stands above and is among the best in the Montana Highway Patrol.
In June, a Montana DNRC helicopter responding to the Deep Creek fire made a hard landing near Highway 12, right in front of Trooper Via's patrol car. She quickly called for assistance and rushed to help as the aircraft began to burn. The trooper pulled 4 people out of the helicopter, which would soon be engulfed in flames. Not one to easily accept recognition, Via says she was grateful everyone just got out safe.
I'm more thankful about the outcome and what occurred, and hopefully there won't be another circumstance that I'll be needed for something like this, but it is nice to be recognized. It's just humbling.
Those of the Montana Highway Patrol that know her well say they weren't surprised at all she'd rush into danger looking for people in need and ways to help. That's just who she is and always has been.
She rarely wants recognition for what she does. Like today was not something she was looking forward to. She just likes to go out and do her job and just kind of stay in the background, kind of like a lot of us do.
Trooper Via is also a field training officer for the Montana Highway Patrol. The agency says they're lucky to have the next generation of troopers learning from someone who embodies the best of the badge. Reporting in Helena, John Riley, MTN News.
A Columbia Falls teacher-driven initiative provides free books for children living in remote areas during the summer months. Up and down the canyon they go. The Columbia Falls Bookmobile makes stops in Hungry Horse, Coram, Martin City, and more, delivering 2 new books each week for children during the summer months.
We ask them to write their name in them and start a library at home. And then a lot of them pass them down to their little brothers and sisters too.
Amy Hansen, a 5th grade teacher at Reuter Elementary, is one of 6 Columbia Falls teachers delivering books this summer.
I love to see kids jumping up and down when the bookmobile's driving up.
The bookmobile started 9 summers ago by Columbia Falls educator Betsy Cohn-Stam with the purpose of getting books into the hands of kids living in remote areas. Mary Ellen Getz, a 1st grade teacher at Glacier Gateway Elementary, says literacy rates decline rapidly during the summer months.
During school, we, send them home with the kids. They go to the library, but during the summer, they don't have always that opportunity.
Me, I'm really excited.
Hungry Horse parent Whisper says her kids are excited for the chance to delve into new books each week.
Not having a library in town, it's a great service for the community. It helps them feel included and still learning throughout the summer.
The school district provides a small stipend to cover vehicle costs for the bookmobile, while grant funding raised throughout the year goes directly toward buying new books. Mary Ellen says there's no greater feeling than pulling up to a child's neighborhood for a drop-off and seeing them run out the door in excitement.
Most exciting things when they're like, the bookmobile! And then they run after us or drive their go-kart after us to find us, and get the books. That's exciting because that they are happy to read, and happy to get a new book.
I'm very, very happy.
In Columbia Falls, Sean Wells, MTN News.
Aloha is what paddleboarders said as they raced down the 4.2-mile-long Clark Fork River course. There was fun, laughter, and splashes as the race started in Sharon, East Missoula and finished in Best Reed Park. The race has 2 divisions, elite and recreational. Travis Pruitt is an elite competitor and the winner of this year's Sub Cup. He came back for the fun and the cause the event supports.
This is a great event, really well organized, good charities.
The 9th annual Sup Cup is one of few paddleboard races in the region, and to make this event even better, Windermere Real Estate has teamed up with the Missoula Food Bank's Empower Pact program and Watershed Education Network. The race raises funds for each program.
Watershed Education Network, this helps us have a reliable source of funding to be able to provide citizen science programs, which are volunteer, community-based data collection projects, as well as kind of educational opportunities for students from preschool all the way up through college level.
Yeah, the Kids Empower Pack program is a program that sends kids home on Friday afternoon with a little bit of food for the weekends. These are kids who might be relying on school nutrition programs during the week. So this is a program that makes sure that Saturday and Sunday there's still enough to eat for them.
Both organizations are significant to the Missoula community and make a difference.
All proceeds go to the Missoula Food Bank's Empower Pack program. That's the weekend food program for kids. Our other beneficiary is Watershed Education Network. So it's an important partnership for us in the community.
Parkside Credit Union is another partner to the Watershed Education Network, and they raced on the same paddle team with the organization. They partnered with the nonprofit because they see it as a benefit to the community.
It's become really apparent to me how our waters affect the other waters in the world. We are all connected, and that's really, it's really remarkable to think about. So we're happy to be with them so that they can measure the health of the rivers in our watersheds, and we know more, we can help educate the community.
The race was a success, and in good Missoula fashion, there was fun to be had on the river. The Empower Pact program is going on throughout the summer, and the Watershed Education Network has other opportunities to volunteer as well. You can head over to KPAX.com for more details on both organizations. In Missoula, I'm Hannah Hislop, MTN News.
Just ahead on Positively Montana, we'll tell you what motivated a Bitterroot man to run 100 miles. And after a staple of Great Falls streets broke down, the community rallies to restore a historic trolley.
More stories from the heart of the Treasure State are on the way when Positively Montana continues after this, sponsored by Whitefish Credit Union. Welcome back to Positively Montana, sponsored by Whitefish Credit Union.
A Hamilton organization took to the streets on Saturday to bring awareness and support to children. Their race ran Friday through Saturday, and let me say they logged a lot of miles. 100 miles and 100 reasons why. Emma's House started in 2006 and has since been changing the lives of children in Montana who are faced with abuse, trauma, neglect, and sometimes all three.
It's set up kind of like a home, so instead of going somewhere scary like a police station or a hospital, they can go to, this home environment with Twyla, their support dog, and tell their story once in a kind of more comfortable environment. If they need a medical exam, it can happen there, and then they do offer counseling as well.
Run for Emma's House is a 2 or 4 mile race where all the proceeds go to the organization. But there were some special people able to go the extra mile for Emma's House. Ryan Tellick set out on a 100-mile run. Ryan said that he has lived a blessed life, and Emma's House is his way of giving to those who don't have the kind of support he did.
I'm very passionate about Emma's House because what they do makes a serious impact in our community for our youth that are put under very difficult living situations. So, it goes back to how fortunate I've been in my life. So they really help people with that.
Lyric Johnson ran the first 52 miles with Ryan in support of the organization and echoed a similar sentiment.
But I definitely wanted to be involved. Emma's House has always kind of been special in our community, so I felt like it was pretty important and decided to kind of just go for it.
Emma's House holds a special place in the heart of those in the community.
We wanted to really emphasize kind of the community involvement, and Emma's House serves the whole Ravalli County, and there's so many people that go into making Emma's House possible, and we just wanted to have that community involvement.
In their inaugural year, the race had over 70 participants, and Ryan raised over $31,000 by running his race. The event still has their fundraising page open for more donations towards Emma's House. The Run for Emma's House race is the true meaning of going the distance. If you want to support Emma's House or learn more about the organization, you can head over to kpax.com for more details. In Hamilton, I'm Hannah Hislop, MTN News.
Color Pillars of the Treasure State, captured here on the RSVP Motel. I got to meet the two young women who created the design, one they hope brings even more beauty to Bozeman.
I'm Gabrielle Lewis, and I'm an illustrator. Being an illustrator means I have a medium for a special talent. Plus, illustrator is a bit more of a posh term than artist.
As she works on her third mural, Gabrielle Lewis explains how she came up with her current masterpiece, one chosen to go right here on Bozeman's RSVP Motel.
To be able to create something that identifies not only the motel, not only the street, but Bozeman itself, is wild.
She's a graduate of MSU, originally obsessed with being a cartoonist. Her first two murals are near Seattle: Cows in a Forest and Jimmy's Dragon, an ode to Jimi Hendrix.
My favorite thing to draw, paint, design are animals. This is Charlotte. She's our female buffalo. We prefer that you take pictures with Charlotte instead of disrupting the bison at Yellowstone.
So far, the bear is nameless, though, and so is the mural. But she says this current project is her favorite. Networking, good connections, and of course, her unique gifts landed her this job. But she hardly sees it as work, using her talents to capture all that embodies Bozeman, Montana, sharing the colorful city on this wall.
So there's probably like 12 to 14 different wildflower species on this wall. There's something about the people, the culture, the state, the adventure that happens here. The most challenging part is probably the size of it.
She's not conquering the 2,200 square foot canvas of sorts alone. Her best friend and partner in creation, Candace Knoll, is always close by.
We're tired, but it's still so great. It's just kind of like a feeling of home.
A home here in Bozeman they've felt even more connected to since they've started spending 6 days a week right here on scaffolding, paintbrushes in hand at the corner of Peach and 7th Street.
I joke with Candace that we've met half of Bozeman on this street.
New friends like the kids who stop by and want to lend a hand.
I live for the little kids in the back seat as the SUV drives by. They're like, good job!
And then there's the honking.
It's kind of like a Morse code. One honk is definitely like my first time here, hi, test the water. 2 honks is like I've been here, also like hello.
From the first 25 gallons of pink paint to the finishing touches, they've got it all planned out through a grid.
So it's all really specific.
Every piece planned between the lines of blue chalk that will eventually be erased.
It's been great to see the patterns start to take shape.
It's hard work, and they have the calluses to prove it.
Yes, I've got calluses, I've got cuts.
2 women, dozens of paint cans, and thousands of brush strokes weaving together the tapestry that makes Bozeman, Montana so unique. The people, the wildlife, the wildflowers.
If guests to our state start identifying Bozeman by this art, that would be an honor.
As for when the job is done, Gabrielle says they'll just know.
Art definitely tells you when it's done.
And Gabrielle and Candace will be creating 2 more murals in Bozeman and another in Great Falls in the weeks to come. In Bozeman, Holly Brantley, MTN News.
For 3 decades, a symbol of Great Falls' past has given tourists and residents alike a unique view of the Electric City. But now, the Great Falls trolley has hit some speed bumps in the form of mechanical issues. The community, though, isn't letting it stay parked for long.
I'm Aaron Kiefler, and I'm the current owner of the Great Falls Trolley.
Aaron bought the trolley in 2018.
I was like, that'd be something fun to do.
To keep part of Great Falls' past alive.
The design is a replica of an 1800s streetcar put on a 1980 Chevy engine.
When streetcars were first brought to Great Falls, they were used to transport people from the smelter back into town by way of this wider section of 4th Avenue North. Now the trolley is used to shuttle people around the Electric City for historic tours, class reunions, weddings, Luminaria tours around Christmas, and more. I even got to tag along when it was used as a pace car and intermission entertainment at the Electric City Speedway.
Because of its age, it does have quite a bit of issues that are starting to show.
During a charter trip in June, the transmission went out, putting the brakes on future trolley trips.
One of the things I was forced to do is to refund all of the charters because I knew the trolley would not be running for the month of July. And that really depleted the little bit of savings I had built up for the trolley.
Friends convinced him to start a GoFundMe account and put the word out on social media.
Within 15 minutes, we had our first donation, and then the second donation came in, and then an anonymous donor filled up the required amount that we were looking for to get the transmission replaced. So whoever that anonymous donor is, thank you very much, because we could not have done it without you.
Even though his initial fundraising goal of $3,000 was met, there are still a lot of needed repairs and renovations.
So as you can see, some of the windows, like this one back here, it just doesn't open. The latch is actually broke on it. This one over here.
Aaron says any money that comes in through the GoFundMe account will solely be used to maintain and keep the trolley running.
I think it's an important part of our community. I think for both tourists coming in and for the locals to just go around and learn about the city that they're living and grew up in.
Aaron is hoping to have the trolley back up and running again by August 1st. You can hop on one of those historic tours Saturday or Sunday mornings. You can find a form to fill out if you'd like to charter the trolley for an event. We'll also have the link to the GoFundMe page for the trolley on our website. In Great Falls, Shannon Newth, MTN News. Just ahead on Positively Montana, a daughter continues her mom's legacy with one of the largest equestrian events in the country. We'll take you to the event at Rebecca Farm in Kalispell.
More stories from the heart of the Treasure State are on the way when Positively Montana continues after this, sponsored by Whitefish Credit Union. Welcome back to Positively Montana, sponsored by Whitefish Credit Union.
I am here at the annual Rebecca Farms Equestrian Horse Triathlon. This event has taken place right here in Kalispell for over 20 years, and it is the biggest horse triathlon west of the Mississippi. And it lives up to its name. From show jumping to dining, the event has something for everyone. But the responsibility didn't come as easy as organizer Sarah Broussard took over after her mom passed away in 2010 from breast cancer.
She would be proud of where we've come from, obviously, since she hasn't been here for the past 10 years, but I think that she would be very happy with what we've created, and it carries on her legacy that she wanted to create a showcase event for competitors in the West, and she has.
When Sarah thinks of her mom, Rebecca Broussard, there is one word that comes to mind.
Strength. Because she had the idea of making this happen, and she never backed off. She kept pushing forward, kept adding levels, kept bringing in top-notch officials.
Sarah wanted to find a way to make the event more impactful, and that's when she created Halt Cancer at X, which funds breast cancer research. Now when you enter the event at Rebecca Farm, there's competitor pledges, and through those pledges, she's raised over $720,000 over the first decade.
It's definitely a tribute to my mom, but also, there are lots of people in this sport who've dealt with breast cancer and continue on and come back afterwards, strong as can be, and it's for them too. And it's for people here in the Flathead Valley who are, struggling through chemo or, whatever's going on, and knowing that we are able to donate some money to those organizations is very heartwarming.
People come to this event all throughout the U.S. and even the world, and Sarah hopes that everyone can see her vision is bigger than just the sport.
It's bigger than the event in that it has a broader reach here in the community as well as with research. So, knowing that everyone is coming together to create that I can push back out into the community and say, hey, we're not just about horses. We think about a lot of things and try to accomplish the best we can.
This event will be going on through Sunday. Reporting in Kalispell, Alexa Bell Castro, MTN Sports.
The Carnivorium Mobile Restaurant surpassed a milestone this month with their Day of Giving. In just their first 9 months of operation, the Carnivorium Mobile Restaurant has exceeded a milestone this month with their Day of Giving. The Carnivorium is the first ever mobile drive-thru restaurant in the country, serving American-made burgers, hot dogs, and fries. The restaurant is open 5 days a week from March to December and visits a designated location each day. And on the second Wednesday of each month, the Carnivorium donates 10% of their profits from the day to a local nonprofit organization.
So what I decided was, when I did this, I said I want it to be more than just a great place to get some great American-made food. It should be a community asset, and it should help the greater good. So I said to myself, why don't we figure out a way to do a community project, and we'll donate funds to it.
In total so far, the Carnivorium has donated over $10,000 to 15 local nonprofit organizations, all aimed at different missions. A few of the organizations selected to receive a financial donation include the Benefice Women and Children's Center, Special Olympics Montana, the McLean Cameron Animal Adoption Center, My Student in Need, and the Grace Veterans Home. The Great Falls Community Food Bank was one of the first organizations to receive a donation from the Carnivorium, and they were able to use the funds provided to assist in their operations.
You know, the food bank really relies on small and large businesses for contributions. So when we get something from a business like Carnivorium, we know we're just thrilled to death. And you know, Dave's done a great job and has always been a big supporter of ours. And so we're thrilled that he's been able to make it. And Carnivorium's been a success. And to help out all these charities is just wonderful.
Before the restaurant season ends in December, the Carnivorium plans to donate to 5 more nonprofit organizations, including Fish, the YWCA Mercy Home, Meals on Wheels, the Danny Berg Memorial, and the Great Falls Clinic Legacy Foundation. One organization, the Great Falls Clinic Legacy Foundation, was delighted to find out they were selected to receive a Day of Giving donation and are already making arrangements on what those funds will be used for.
Well, we're still in the process of paying off the construction. We're real close, about 78% to having that completely paid off. But there's also the sustainability of the facility, and we're still having to purchase things like blankets and pillows and all of that at the same time. So it is going to go to great use, and I know without a question, on behalf of the Legacy Foundation, we thank everybody who has donated and who will donate.
In addition to the 5 organizations that will receive a donation from the Carnivorium, 2 other donations will receive a surprise donation before the end of their season in December. In Great Falls, Kaylee Neitzel, MTN News.
Well, that does it for this week's edition of Positively Montana. We hope you've enjoyed these stories of good things happening to people in our community and those people working to make the lives of those around them even better. For more stories just like these, head to your local MTN station's website and click on the Positively Montana link on the homepage.